Hello everybody and welcome back to the 7 Days of Twisted. Today is day 3 and right now we have a moderate risk, so not the best risk, but we have 3000 Cape, 555 SRH. Storms are moving north-northeast at 76 miles per hour and PWAT of 1.2 inches. Lapse rates are decently high in the first 3 kilometers, but then the 3 to 6 kilometers of the atmosphere are pretty low. So we could see some large hail, but it's not setting up to be a very violent tornado-prone day. We're just playing this risk because I have been re-rolling forever, and I haven't gotten any high risks. I'll throw some screenshots up on screen of some of the terrible risks I've gotten. I got a day 2 moderate. This is only day 1 moderate I've gotten. So we likely will not get a new record intercept, which is my goal for this series, is a 263 plus mile an hour intercept, technically 264, so we can update my stats, because as you can see right now, my stats, highest wind speed's 263, so that means we need at least a 3-second gust of 264. I think it could be 2 seconds, actually. I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that it cannot be a sub-vortice. So that is my goal. But for today, we'll probably be focusing on a pretty forgotten aspect of Twisted. I don't think anybody really goes out specifically for photography. I know some people do, but obviously the main goal of this game is chasing. Right now, we're just driving around aimlessly. I'm driving towards Hibbing. We're going to try to see if we can get some photogenic tornadoes today. PWAT is relatively low. We have 1.2 inch PWAT. And I see a storm firing off to our west. So I forget that this truck doesn't have an interior, but you can see the storm off to our west. We'll see if we can see that on radar yet. And no, we cannot. It's not on reflectivity or velocity. And considering they're moving north, we could honestly probably position west of Hazleton, but it's a bit too early to say, considering we can't really see it on radar. I can see part of it on velocities. So, should pop up on reflectivity in the next scan. But I'm going to go ahead and head north to get into position for this, and I will be back with you all soon. Okay, so we're starting to see some pretty nice lightning activity with this storm. Actually, you can see we don't have much structure because we are under it. That lightning is beginning to pick up once again. Hopefully, once we get out of the storm, we can see some structure, but I'm positioned in Funkley. And right as I'm talking about the lightning, of course, it just happens to die. So, yeah. But here we are in the fictional state of Keysota. You can see visibility is pretty high today. There is Hazleton. I believe that's Hazleton. Yes, that is Hazleton, because I see the hills. But we're just going to wait for this storm to rotate, which I believe it is to my southwest. Yes, it is rotating right on the western map border. That rotation is just beginning to come on the map, and it's not labeled as rotation yet. It is just developing, but you can see where that red and green area meet south of the Beltrami County 10. So we will just wait for that rotation to form. I'm going to do a nice time lapse with the drone on this storm. Alright, so you can certainly see that rotation now. We've actually got a tail cloud. Drone is under the tail cloud, And according to radar, we have a green TVS on the ground, yellow TVS, and yup, there it is. That is a very photogenic funnel, and look what it's doing on the bottom. Very nice. I've only seen that a couple times, where we've got kind of a subvort type of thing going on the bottom, where it's not quite connected to the top part of our funnel. It is a pretty awesome thing that happens now in 1.21.2. So there's our funnel coming down. I'm going to do a little time lapse of it touching down, and then we are going to try to intercept it if it does reach red or pink TVS status, which it should. It's green right now, but should be intensifying soon. And the drone is actually getting pushed off to the east-northeast, which is the storm motion, so the storm is pushing it, but we're going to do a time lapse of the tornado. So cue the cinematic music. Alright, so that tornado has now fully condensed, and it is yellow TVS. It's about to pass to our north. It's kind of doing the yoinkly spoinkly thing, if you want to call it that, for those of you who know. And it's got a very nice dust cloud on it. I did not mean to do that. And it is moving very quickly, as the photograph shows. So the photograph says storm's moving north, a little bit northeast at 76 miles per hour. I'd say that's about 75-ish. Let's see what the tornado warning says. Moving east at 70 miles per hour. So yeah, I think our estimation and the photograph are pretty close to being accurate on that. But look at across the road in front of us. That is very photogenic. And we even got the lightning in the back too. Oh, and it's lifting. Let's get the drone on that. Very photogenic lift. There you go. Look at that. And it's actually still on the ground. We've got a dust cloud, a subvortice down there. We've still got green TVS, so I was wrong about it lifting. But I think now it might be done. Or not. It's coming back down. I'm not sure what we're doing here. It did lift for a second though, at least that subvortice went away. The velocities are very weak. It was pretty much on the verge of lifting. But it is back on the ground now, pretty much fully condensed at this point, so we're going to head north again. My favorite part about the lower end risks in Twisted now is that the tornadoes recycle, because on high risks you don't really see that much. They're typically super strong and then they'll just be done, or the risk just busts. But now radar is showing rotation, and oh my goodness, it's lifting again. What is this tornado doing? It's getting a lot more rain wrap now, so we'll go ahead and check tracks. It only shows one tornado. Oh, I did not notice that at all. We have a pink TVS, so a PDS that goes out for portions of Hibbing and Funkley. So I am going to race south to get there. We will be there soon, but nothing photogenic to show really. So probably going to cut this part out, because my focus for this episode is photography and videography and just cinematic type of stuff like that. Because hopefully in day 4 and all the upcoming days, we can get better luck with our risks. That is actually a very, I would say that's a violent tornado for this risk. It honestly looks like a violent tornado just in general based off of radar. We can honestly try to intercept on the Beltrami County 10. I think that's what I'm going to do. See it there, very nice stovepipe. It's got a very well defined dust cloud as well, very photogenic. is orange TVS, but it does look to be growing a little bit in terms of size. Yeah, so I'm gonna go just a little bit east. I think we'll stay right here for now. Not sure if I want to go east or stay here or go a bit west yet, but we are gonna put drone on this for a second. Because wow, look at that. That is awesome. Even you can even see the subboard down there. There was just a subboard, see? That is just to the northwest of the Hibbing Airport. Does look to be shrinking a little bit and maybe weakening. And these tornadoes can fizzle out really quickly with risks like these. Hopefully we can, yeah, it's yellow TVS, but hopefully we can intercept this ASAP. Honestly, just gonna go into the field a little bit. We could probably drive into this thing. This is not an interceptor, but I do have probes that we could put down in it because those subvorts could get us maybe up to orange TVS intensity winds. So we are going to probe, and that should be a direct hit. If a subvort hits us, our truck might get lofted, but we're just gonna take the impact. And we actually survived. Let's see. Got 116 max out of all of our probes. So that was the 116 probe. I'm assuming that was the 114 probe, and this was the 107 probe. That is a very tall subboard, though. Look at that. Very photogenic tornado. Whoa, look at the power flashes on that. Very nice. Wish it was a bigger tornado so it would have been over the power lines longer and cost more power flashes because that was very photogenic. But just look at that, dude. Very nice tornado. Just down that tree right there. Probably still winds around 80 to 90 miles per hour. It is green TVS now, so we'll see this lift, and then that'll probably be the last tornado of the video. Just doing the sidewindy thing a little bit to the left. See if we can capture some of those subvorts. There we go, there's one going to the right. Doing the sidewind thing again. It is yellow TVS now. Oh, green. And it is kind of on track to go to Hazleton, but I don't think it's going to make it there. And in fact, maybe lifting right now. I do believe that the tornado, yep, it has just lifted. Very photogenic funnel though. Very nice. Could touch back down. It is getting dark. Look at that. That is... wow. That lighting for a second was perfect. I'm going to screenshot that. Now we're kind of getting a green hue. Very photogenic funnel. But with that being said, we're going to do the outro with the awesome funnel in the background. That is going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching day 3 of the 7 days of Twisted. Once again, today's primary focus was photography, videography, just getting all that cinematic stuff, because that's honestly a pretty underrated aspect of Twisted. So with that being said, I hope to see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.